Hey guys, what's up? My name is Juan. I am just one reader, and today I will be answering the Lost Generation tag, which was created by Stripped Cover Lit. And I was mentioned in their tag. I was one of the answers that they came up with, or that Dalton came up with, for one of the questions in this tag, and so therefore I was tagged. And now it's my turn to do it and pay it forward. So the idea behind this book tag I think is really interesting, and this is something that Stripped Cover Lit, the guys over at Stripped Cover Lit, have done previously, and I think it's a really great effort that they do, which is talk about the community. They are talking about the people who are members of this booktube community, but they always bring it back to literature. They always find a way of anchoring the community to literature. So I think these kinds of tags are just incredible. They really open up your horizons, they widen your horizons, and they make you realize more things about literature and about the community, as is the case for this particular book tag. The Lost Generation book tag revolves around these authors, these writers who are known as the writers of the Lost Generation, and these include Hemingway, T.S. Eliot, Fitzgerald, and what we have to do is, what we have to do is there's a prompt for each one of these writers, and you have to link that description of that author to a booktuber. So this is great because you get to know more about these authors who I don't really know that much about, so that's great, and about booktubers who you might not have heard of before. So I'm gonna do this pretty quickly because yeah, I need to hurry up and go to class. So the first one is Ernest Hemingway. Brazen and opinionated, this booktuber's incredibly unique style is an asset to booktube. So of course I am pairing Ernest Hemingway with the one and only, as Steve Donahue once called him, the Prince of Darkness of booktube, and that is of course Adam, the dear Adam from Memento Mori. He is definitely brazen, certainly opinionated. He has an incredibly unique style, which I love that guy. That's a phrase that I will be saying constantly throughout this video. I love this guy, or I love this person, but I really do love Adam. He's one of the first booktubers that I remember watching, and every single time he uploads a video, I'm like, oh yes. So brazen and opinionated, this booktuber's incredibly unique style is an asset to booktube. So that's you, Adam from Memento Mori. Next up, number 2, we have F. Scott Fitzgerald. This is, I think, the only one that I have read. I have read The Great Gatsby, and I really loved it. So, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald is the introspective one. This booktuber helps us discover things that are hidden within the text. And I am choosing Jason from Old Blues Chapter and Verse, I think is the name of the channel. Jason is just wonderful. I freaking love this man. Even though we've had some differences, or some, not even differences, some disagreements, or some different points of view about religion and Freud, but the thing that I love about Jason is that he always has this calm, soothing, patient, really mature style, and these conversations that I've had with him, in which we have discussed our differences and disagreed on things, I love talking to this guy, and I love watching his videos. He is really introspective. You can just you sit down and play his videos, and it's like you are invited into his mind. You actually feel like you are there sitting with him. He has these wonderful videos in which he sits down and starts doing some crochet, and you feel invited, you feel welcome into his home and his mind. And yeah, he's definitely introspective, and he has helped me discover many things about reading. So that is Jason from Old Blues Chapter and Verse. Okay, moving on. Number 3 is Gertrude Stein. She's the expert. This is the one you always turn to for their opinion and expertise in the matter of reading. So for this, I know this is kind of a very cliched answer, but you know, Stripped Cover Lit. These are the creators of this tag, and I sort of hesitated in whether I should tag them or not, but I really feel like that's the real genuine answer for me. Stripped Cover Lit is a channel that I've always felt like I can rely on. And that doesn't mean to say that I completely agree with every single thing that they say or think or talk about. But for some reason, they are the channel that I really go to in terms of, you know, whenever I want a recommendation or whenever I want to hear someone's opinion to know if I should read a book or not, or yeah, they're just two people that I absolutely value immensely, and I always have, and they are responsible for some of the best reading experiences that I've had in recent years, if not ever. They were the ones that recommended Fight Club to me. They are the reason why I read American Psycho. They constantly make me think, and yeah, I just really value their taste. And again, this doesn't mean that I agree with them 100%, because that's not realistic, and that's not really the point. But I also love that we have Adrian and Dalton, who are very, very different people, and you can get a lot of value from listening to them. I certainly do. So that is number 3. Now moving on to number 4, we have T.S. Eliot. This is the one who will make it big. This is a small booktuber, or smaller booktuber, who is firing on all cylinders and is one great day away from being a huge booktuber. So I think when we talk about quantities, amounts of subscribers and comments, whenever we talk about how big or small a channel is, this is really subjective, especially in a small, such a small corner of the internet as is BookTube, because I mean, it's all relative. I mean, I have a number of subscribers, you might have another number of subscribers. It's all relative. And really, the important thing is not so much who is, how many people are following you, but the quality of the engagement and link and relationship, the quality of the relationship that you can have with your viewers, and how close your subscribers feel to you. That's how I see it. But a channel that I think is not as big or not as huge as some other bigger channels, but I think has a lot of potential to become incredibly one of these mammoths of BookTube, is Alex from the channel What Page Are You On? He has become one of my favorite people on BookTube. I think he knows it. I mean, it's very clear. I love how different he is. Like, he mentioned something the other day that really I thought was really wonderful. He mentioned that he usually chooses the books that he reads based on how the book is going to match with his clothes. And I thought that was so interesting. I had never heard of a person who did that. So I thought that was interesting. And I think Alex just has a bunch of attributes that I really admire in a booktuber. He is incredibly insightful. He is so intelligent. Like, I really envy his intelligence and his ease, and how easy it is for him to to be so clever about these things. So yeah, I just really adore his channel, and I really wish that he has more visualization, I guess. And finally, we have number 5, Ezra Pound. This is a quirky and a little, he's quirky and a little different from the norm. This booktuber is in a class of their own, bringing something entirely new and valuable to booktube. So for this, I am going with Sean the Book Maniac. Sean the Book Maniac is a very interesting individual, and don't take it the wrong way, sir, because I love you. I love Sean so very much. He's one of the people in BookTube that I feel very close to as well, even though we don't really have that many conversations, but for some reason, I just feel like he has really informed my channel, my reading, my way of thinking about certain books. I think he is hilarious as hell, and I think that is something that we need more of in BookTube. On this side of BookTube, I feel like humor is not always very valued. I think Sean is a great sort of in-between, or a great example of someone who is able to have these incredibly insightful, intelligent, clever literary criticisms, but at the same time, he's very playful, he is snarky, he is mean sometimes, he is sarcastic, he's also very sweet, and he shares a little bit of his own personal life, his relationship, his work, his life in he's not living in Canada. He lives in Asia. I forgot if he lives in, I think it's Japan, right? I for a split second I forgot if it was Japan or, yeah, I think it's Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I just think Sean is a little bit different to your average booktuber or your typical booktuber, and I feel like that's just one of the reasons why I love him so much. So that is my take on the Lost Generation tag. Thank you very much for tagging me. And now it's your turn to pay it forward. So if I mentioned you, you are now tagged. So Adam, Jason, Adrian, Alex, and Sean, I'm looking forward to hearing your answers. Thanks for watching, and I am Just One Reader. I'll see you next time.